What's going on, Flicks Talkers? Here we are. We made it to the end of season 2. This is our season 2 finale for The Righteous Gemstones. Thank you guys so much. Those that have participated in the comment section of all my past episode video recap and review. I love you guys so much for all of your theories, your thoughts, your love for the videos. It means so much more, as I really do love this series. I wasn't even planning on covering it in the beginning, but because of the response, I'm so glad that I did. But if you guys did appreciate these videos on season 2 of The Righteous Gemstones, let me know by liking the video. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe and bell notification for more. All right, so in Righteous Gemstone fashion, we do get a flashback, this time with Daniel Block and Lyle listens. You guys, most of you guys' predictions were correct. It was Lyle listens that was in cahoot with Daniel Block. And a lot of you guys really did predict this. Some were saying it was Keith. Some were saying it was Amber that was in cahoots. Nope, it was Lyle listens the whole damn time. And we get to see this flashback to the cabin where all the mayhem, and we're like, how did that person get in the tree? How did that guy get his face blown off? We get to see how all of that conspired out in this intro scene. Now, in a twist of dumb luck, and I thought it was a pretty comedic, slapsticky scene almost, at least what they were preparing for, we got to see Lyle listens and his boys plotting to kind of take out Daniel Block, but Daniel Block decides to take out himself. Unlucky for him, and I think that scene was extremely funny. I think this season did a really good job of planting a lot of false red herrings, meaning that they really alluded to, it could have been this person, it could have been that person. And when you have a Knives Out situation type of series, especially for a season like this, I don't remember if they really did that for season 1, but in season 2, I was really guessing on the motives of certain people, or who could have done this, or why could they have done this. And I think the flashbacks kind of alluded a little more to why this person could have possibly done it. And then in the last episode that we got, we see that that's not the case. And that just goes back to the fantastic writing, mainly from Danny McBride. I know there's a lot of creators involved. Danny McBride has definitely proven to at least me that he can dip not only in comedy, but also in horror. This guy has been doing some crazy things with Blumhouse and the Halloween franchise, and I can't wait to see more from him. All right, guys, now next up, Gideon is out of Jesse Gemstone's mansion, and we get to see that I believe he's in Atlanta, and he is shooting an action movie where it looks like he's the star. At least the camera's on him the whole time in the front. You know, sometimes you can switch back and forth between stunt doubles, but it looks like he is actually in the forefront of this movie or series, whatever he's recording, and he's jumping out of windows and he's doing double takes where he has to just keep putting himself through this. And he definitely seems like this is his calling, his passion, and I'm glad to see that Gideon not only returned to help the family out. In season 1, we got to see it was a whole damn different objective where he wanted to go against the family. He had different motives for doing what he was doing. I mean, you guys need to realize too, and remember, that the whole conflict of season 1 was because of Gideon. Him recording that video, him blackmailing the Gemstone family. So when he finally had that change of heart, his motives were completely different. He tried doing the Gemstone thing, living righteous through God and whatnot, through the church, and trying to be a producer, director, and do everything he could. But his passion, his calling is in stunt work, is working in Hollywood. Even though a lot of movies are shot in Hollywood, a lot are still shot around where they all live, and that's in Atlanta. That's the closest, I guess, location for him for movie making. And that's kind of awesome, because then he gets to stick around with the family as far as being in a decent proximity of them. And once again, cool scene, because even though he's not living with the Gemstones, it seems like Jesse and Amber are definitely proud of him. All right, guys, now next up, we get a quick scene with Lyle Liston's father in a home that he has put him in. He's forced him in, played by John Amos. Whoa. So Mr. Coming to America, Mr. McDowell, is the father to Lyle Listens, and Lyle treats him like shit. I mean, we got to hear a little reference of him earlier in the season saying that, yeah, my dad kind of came around and he helped me out, he hooked me up or whatever, but we never got to see what actually happened, or, you know, his parents in general, what happened. So we see that he put him in a home. He definitely doesn't want to be there. He hates him. He has so much disdain for him. And I thought it was just an awesome cameo. I thought it was insane that Lindy listens, just straight up smacked his ass across the face. I could not believe that, but this is a weird relationship that both of them have, and the relationship they have with the father. So weird and crazy just to see that, yeah, they're in the forefront, but behind the scenes, they are freaking monsters. All right, guys, now it wouldn't be the ending to a season without going back to Jason's steakhouse for the Righteous Gemstones. This is their safe haven. This is their second home. This is their second church. I mean, this is where they all sit around, eat, and just talk shit. Literally talk shit about everyone. You would think that some people would be like, you know, you shouldn't be saying that at the table. No, they let it all out in these table scenes, and I love that because, you know what, I've seen a lot of movies, a lot of series that do table scenes, and sometimes with the dialogue, it can be very heavy, very drawn out, and it's not really even relatable or real. This definitely puts that to rest as far as it being so well edited. The writing is great. Once again, I have my laughs along the way, and they're quick, but they are very integral to who the Righteous Gemstones are. We now know that Eli Gemstone is giving Jesse the $10 million to invest in Zion's Landing, and I think that's cool. I just think that's cool. I mean, even though we know that Lyle Listens is a piece of shit, I think it's cool because we finally get to see what's to come, who's all going to be part of this Zion Landing. You know it's going to be a party. You know it's going to be mega. And we get to see that later in the episode. But right now, we get our table scene. Everyone is so pumped up about it. Judy and BJ are like, Joe Jonas, let's go. Let's go. They're ready for Zion's Landing, and so was I. All right, guys. Now, next up, we are at Listen's Kiddo Ranch. And correct me if I'm wrong. Leave it in the comments. At the beginning of this episode, I didn't write it down verbatim, but did Daniel Block kind of hint or allude that there was some kind of pedo scandal going on with Lyle Listens and the children? I mean, it's not uncommon. I could have heard wrong, but once he brought it up, Lyle was definitely trying to change the subject, and he has a kiddo ranch now. So it's like, I don't know. I could have remembered that wrong, but you guys let me know. Did he say that dark shit? So we're at the kiddo ranch, guys, and we find out that the older kids at least are involved in this cycle ninja thing that Lyle has going on, where he's pretty much put together an assassin squad. He's giving them all guns. It looks like they're all trained. They all have mommy and daddy issues because they're all orphans, it seems like. And even when Lyle brings to their attention that it took so many attempts for them to even get to Eli Gemstone, you guys remember they went after the wrong gemstone? They still want to charge him double to go back after him. It's kind of crazy. It's weird, but I mean, they're all pointing guns at him, and yeah, he has to give in to their demands. All right, guys, so here it is. We are at Zion's Landing. The Zion Landing party, I guess is what we're going to call it, where we have all our investors, all the important people, people with money, right? This is kind of the groundbreaking thing to Zion's Landing. Now, this is where shit all unfolds. Everyone's here. We have our whole cast here, and this is where a lot of stuff does pop off, guys. So let's start off with Aunt Tiffany, who is pregnant as usual, as she was the whole damn season. She's about to burst, and she gets approached by baby Billy Freeman. Yep. Baby Billy Freeman does show back up, and he begs for forgiveness like he always does. He comes crawling back, and Aunt Tiffany is about to go into labor. She runs into the bathroom, and oh my God, I kind of had an inkling, a feeling. When she ran to the restroom, I was like, wait a minute. She had talked about being a toilet baby. Is this about to happen? And yes, she is blessed with her own toilet baby. In one of the most bizarre scenes I've seen recently, guys, Billy Freeman pulls out that baby by the umbilical cord with all of the toilet chemical blue stuff all over him. I was just like, this is gross. This is crazy, but this is perfect gemstone fashion. All right, guys, now next up, Jesse does find out about the cycle ninjas, the hit. He finds out about Daniel Block being killed by technically himself, but Lyle Listens and his boys were gonna do it. So he kind of spills the beans, which is funny because this is a huge characteristic of Lyle Listens, as we've grown to know over the episodes of season 2, is that when he's cornered, he just spills his guts to everyone. So once Lyle does figure out that Jesse is gonna tell, they get into a scuffle on the beach. Jesse goes David versus Goliath once again and hits him with a rock right in the middle of the forehead with that sling. Ridiculous scene, I know, but I thought it was funny that we could have another body on our hands. And it looks like for a moment we do, as all the gemstones kind of gather together over Lyle Listen's body, which is now covered in twigs and whatnot, thanks to Jesse, because he thinks his body is dead, but Nope, Lyle pops back up, has a huge welt over his head, and something I really wasn't expecting was Lindy to pull out that gun and shoot BJ. I mean, he didn't deserve that. BJ's been so cool, been so wholesome with everybody. He's been trying to kiss everyone's ass and just stay in everybody's good graces after they treat him like absolute dog shit. He even got baptized for Judy and the Gemstones. Come on. He does get shot in the leg, and Lindy tells everyone to get to walking into that ocean. Random as hell, I know, but this is kind of what leads to the Listens being on the run. All right, guys, now flash forward to 1 month later. We're at the Salvation Center. It seems like things are kind of getting back to normal. People are getting back together. Aunt Tiffany has her baby, and she's with baby Billy Freeman. I know that's a mouthful when I have to say baby Billy Freeman, but that's the best way I can address this guy, man, that acts like a baby all the damn time. So I guess that was kind of cool to see his redemption arc where he does finally forgive himself after grown-up Harmon does, you know, punch him in the face and says, you know, you're forgiven for the most part. And I guess he does have that closure to kind of do it right this time, do it over again, like Eli said at the baptism. So they do ride off into the sunset, but this episode's not over as we get to see Kelvin's youth squad. So Kelvin's training them young now. I mean, instead of surrounding himself by beefcake men who are just a spectacle to see and this weird thing that he had going on through the whole season, which his dad, Eli, didn't even really question too much. He was just kind of feeding into that and giving him money for all their retreats and whatnot. It seems like Kelvin is going back to his youth roots as far as being like a youth pastor. That was a huge part of his life as well, as teaching the youth and really spreading, because I think since he is the youngest, he is probably the closest to their ages where he can kind of connect to them on a cool level, you know, as far as like a bigger brother type of role model. And it seems like that's what he's trying to do and get back to with this youth squad thing, but they're still pumping iron and he's still remarking on, damn, look at that kid over there, like bench pressing. He's gonna be a monster. It's like, you know, like I don't know what to think. It's really just weird to think when they're just remarking on children like this. And to top it off, we get to see Junior and Eli definitely rekindling. It looks like Junior is building a bigger wrestling ring, and that's part of his life. That's going to be his legacy. And we know Eli has definitely always been supportive of Junior, even though they've had their scuffles and their accusations and past with Glendon and whatnot. They've come to common ground, and I think they are true friends. Then we do end off this episode, guys, for season 2, the finale, with an eerie scene with the Listens being tracked down by snowmobile ninjas now? I don't know. But Martin and Eli have definitely orchestrated this hit this time, as they have tracked down Lyle Listens and Lindy Listens, as they are now hiding out in Alaska. And they do get their evil karma. Lindy by getting shot up in the weirdest movie recreation of Young Guns I've ever seen in my life. I do not know why you would try to recreate that damn scene, but it was pretty brutal. At the same time, we're seeing all of this while the Gemstones are singing one of their gospel hymns. It's crazy. It is really cool, sadistic shit. And once again, the writing and directing, fantastic for the Righteous Gemstones. But before the credits do roll, guys, the biggest karma is given to Mr. Lyle Listens, as he is just walking out there in all of that snow, butt-ass naked for the most part, and he does freeze to death, Jack Torrance style. I loved it. I thought that homage was so fantastic. We pan out, we get to see the wolves about to attack his frozen body, and that is it. Boom, curtains, nail in the coffin. I loved it. I love that ending for season 2 of the Righteous Gemstones. And where do we go from here? Probably more accusations, probably more things that are going to be dusted from underneath that rug, because we know that the Gemstones are not righteous, truthful people. They have a lot of skeletons in their closet. You think this is going to be the first incident that gets uncovered? No! And I had mentioned it already in the last couple of videos, but if you guys were not aware, the Righteous Gemstones will be getting a season 3, so I am so excited for that. I will be talking that on the channel as it does premiere. So I will say that some of the character arcs that I really did enjoy in this season, guys, are Gideon, for one, because Gideon had a lot to prove, especially after he pretty much backstabbed his family. How do you welcome someone back into your home after, family or not? how do you welcome them back into your home with loving arms? You know, you have to put all of your trust in them. So I think once again, how I said before, you know, Gideon didn't know if this was right for him, the whole church thing, and then he finally went back to becoming a stuntman. I think his redemption arc was very, very cool, as well as BJ's. He had a lot to prove. He was an outsider. He wasn't born into any of this, so they really treated him like an outsider. They still treat him like an outsider. Is he going to continue to be the butt of the joke? Absolutely, because that's the whole shtick of BJ being in the family of the righteous Gemstones. And I really did like the character of Aunt Tiffany. I thought she was a really, really funny, good counterpart to baby Billy Freeman. Even though she was a lot younger and it was really, really weird at times, I thought her humor just added, and it was so realistic too. That character of someone living in the South, I could definitely picture someone like her living on a corner down there. So once again, I had fun with this season. Thank you guys so much for checking out all of my videos and leaving those amazing comments along the way. I really do appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. Once again, you guys let me know, where do we go from here? What was your favorite moments of season 2? And who was your favorite character in season 2 for the righteous Gemstones? Once again, let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did appreciate my video and appreciate all my videos that I've been doing for the righteous Gemstones, let me know by liking the video. And if you guys want, hit that subscribe and bell notification for so much more content here on the channel. All right, guys, till next time, I'm gone. Peace.